If you ride a motorcycle, listen carefully, because what you're about to hear might just save your life. Literally. I don't care if you just got your license or you've been dreaming about your first ridee. If you don't understand the 13 deadly mistakes beginners make, you're not just risking embarrassment. You're signing up for broken bones, lawsuits, lifelong trauma, and maybe even a funeral with your name on it. See, riding a bike isn't like learning how to drive a car. This isn't something you just figure out on the go. You either prepare or you pay. And most people pay. They pay with hospital bills. They pay with permanent injuries. They pay with guilt after hurting someone else on the road. And the crazy part is almost all of it is avoidable, but no one told them. No one pulled them aside and said, "Hey, you're about to make the same stupid mistake that destroyed someone else's life last year." Because here's the thing, most riding channels, they'll entertain you. They'll show wheelies, they'll talk about gear, they'll act cool, but they won't show you what's about to make you crash. They won't tell you what that twitchy feeling in your throttle means. They won't tell you what's really happening when you panic brake. They won't tell you how to avoid being T-boned at an intersection when some distracted soccer mom's checking her phone. But I will, because this isn't just a YouTube video. This is your wake-up call. This is what I wish I had when I started riding. Because if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have had friends end up in wheelchairs. I wouldn't have seen someone flip over a guardrail. I wouldn't have replayed mistakes in my head wishing I could go back and warn them before they ever got on the bike. And no, this isn't some fear-based tactic. This is what the smartest riders know. Riding isn't dangerous. Being unprepared is... It's not the bike that kills people. It's the overconfidence. It's the ego. It's the false sense of, I've watched a few videos, I know what I'm doing. Wrong. And in 2025? With more drivers on the road, more distractions, and more riders than ever flooding TikTok and Instagram pretending they're invincible, you need to be smarter. You need to be sharper. You need to be the kind of rider who doesn't end up as another statistic in a coroner's report. So, if you think you're too smart to fall into these 13 beginner traps, think again. Even pros fall for number 6. And if you skip number 9, you might not make it past your second week on the road. This is your chance to ride with a brain, not just a helmet. Let's go. Mistake number 1. Thinking the bike is your friend. You just bought it. It looks beautiful. You wash it, you name it. But here's the truth. No one tells you your motorcycle is not your friend. It doesn't care if you're nervous. It doesn't care if you're learning. One wrong move, one shaky hand, and it'll throw you to the ground without blinking. That throttle doesn't love you. That clutch isn't here to help you. This is a machine. It's not like a car. The bike will obey physics before it obeys you. So stop romanticizing it. Stop filming TikToks and start training. Respect it like you would respect a loaded gun. Mistake number 2. Overestimating confidence, underestimating chaos. You know what gets most new riders killed? Confidence. Not fear, not lack of gear, not even bad roads. It's that false sense of, I got this. Confidence is the enemy of caution. The moment you start thinking, I can handle this, the road tests you. You're riding smooth and suddenly an SUV swerves, a dog runs across, or a pothole grabs your tire. You panic, you freeze, and you lose. Skill beats confidence. Training beats guts. Always. Mistake number 3. Practicing tricks before control. Wheelies? Lane splitting? Corner carving? I stop. You can't even emergency brake at 30 miles per hour properly. But you're watching MotoGP highlights? What you need is control drills, throttle modulation, low-speed turns, figure 8 practice. Stop worshiping the stunt riders until you can handle your bike in a parking lot without wobbling like a toddler on training wheels. Foundation first, flash later. Mistake number 4. Ignoring the rear-view world. You're looking ahead. That's good. But what about behind you? That tailgating truck, that distracted driver, that silent Tesla gliding up behind you like a shark. Most beginners ride like they're in a tunnel. You need a 360 degrees mindset. Eyes scanning constantly. Mirrors checked every 5 seconds. You're not just riding your bike, you're surviving in a world full of sleep-deprived, screen-obsessed, impatient humans and 3-ton machines. Mistake number 5. Buying too much bike. That 1000cc monster looks cool, huh? You like hearing it roar, but it doesn't care about your ego. That machine is waiting for you to twitch, to panic, to jerk the throttle. And when you do, it will launch you off the seat like you're nothing. You don't need speed, you need survival. Start small, grow smart. Grow smart, live longer. Mistake number 6, treating riding like driving. You've been driving for 10 years? So what? None of those habits translate here. You can't brake the same. You can't take turns the same. You can't trust that other drivers see you like they see a car. You are invisible on a bike. Forget what you know from 4 wheels. You need to rewire your instincts or they'll betray you. Mistake number 7, skipping emergency maneuvers. Most beginners only ride in good weather, on smooth roads, and at safe speeds. But what happens when it rains? When a car cuts you off? When a deer jumps out at night? You need muscle memory. You need to know what your hands and feet will do before you think. Panic braking, quick swerves, U-turns. If you haven't practiced them, you're just a tourist on a ticking time bomb. Mistake number 8, not understanding countersteering. You turn the bars left to go left, right? Wrong! At anything above 15 miles per hour, you go left by pushing right. That's called countersteering, and most beginners don't get it until they're flying into the wrong lane. This isn't optional. If your brain doesn't automatically push right to go left at speed, you are not ready to ride. This one technique can save your life during a high-speed corner. Mistake number 9, thinking gear is optional. It's hot. It's just a short ride. I'm careful. Shut it. Ask the rider who slid 40 feet on asphalt if gear is optional. Skin grafts don't feel better because it was just a quick trip. Helmet, jacket, gloves, boots. Always. If you wouldn't walk barefoot into a fire, don't ride a bike without protection. Mistake number 10, riding with emotion. You had a fight. You're late. You feel invincible. Whatever your emotion is, leave it off the bike. You can't afford a mental slip. 1 second of rage or distraction, and you're under someone's bumper. Riding demands full presence. If your mind's clouded, you don't belong on the seat. Mistake number 11, not practicing low. Speed control. High speed? That's easy. But try weaving through cones at 5 miles per hour. Try making a tight U-turn without putting your foot down. Most beginners fail here. But this is what separates a real rider from a weekend poser. Slow speed is real control. And if you can't master your bike in a parking lot, you have no business being on public roads. Mistake number 12, riding in the middle of the lane. You're not a car. The middle of the lane is often filled with oil drips, dead spots, and debris. You need to learn lane positioning. Left track for visibility, right track for dodging idiots. Adjust constantly based on traffic and corners. You're playing chess at 60 miles per hour. Every move matters. Mistake number 13, learning from the wrong people. Your buddy's been riding for 8 years? Cool. But is he trained? Is he safe? Or is he just lucky he hasn't crashed yet? Stop copying idiots. Learn from MSF instructors. Learn from crash analysts. Learn from people who study the date, not from guys who flex on YouTube without gloves. If you recognized even one of these mistakes in yourself, you're lucky. You're lucky because now you know what to fix before it fixes you. But most people will scroll, most people will laugh, and most people will crash. Now be honest with yourself. How many of these mistakes have you already made? 1 or 2? Maybe more? Drop the number in the comments. Let's see how self-aware this community really is. And if you're the kind of rider who's been through it, who's had close calls, crashes, or lessons learned the hard way, share your biggest beginner mistake down below. Because the next person reading it might avoid a hospital trip because of your comment. This video isn't about fear, it's about preparation. And if it helped you think twice before you hit that subscribe button, not for the algorithm for the rider you haven't met yet, who's about to make one of these same mistakes. Ride smart, ride trained, and keep your head on a swivel. We'll see you in the next one.